What's up, everybody? It's a beautiful day in Georgia. It's a little chilly, but pretty nice outside. I hope it warms up a bit more. But today we're going to head over to Night Owl Performance and put new Hawk Racing brake pads on our Mark 7.5 Golf R. It's a 2019 Golf R. We just lowered it a couple weeks ago with H&R Super Sport Springs, and we're just waiting on the wheels to come back. So the wheels should come back in a couple days. That'll be in this video. So by the end of this video, we'll have new brakes, lowered, and new wheels on our Mark 7.5 Golf R. We have not driven this car in a couple weeks actually. So when I went and lowered the car, we found that the right rear wheel is severely bent. So it's very common on these cars. The wheels are made of the softest metal on earth. People are bending wheels left and right on these things, the factory wheels. And that's because they're just, honestly, they're junk. The stock wheels are junk. And ours have been bent from a pothole here and there, and we have about 30K on this car, so all of them are either bent or cracked or something wrong with them, so that's why we're replacing the wheels. But when we did the springs, we found that the left rear is so severely bent that it's destroyed the tire. We need to get this car certified from Volkswagen next week, so we need to get new wheels on it, new tires on it to be able to pass certification. The brakes are also very low, especially for 30,000 miles. But this car has been to the tail of the dragon quite a few times. And yeah, we got to get these wheels off this thing because we are tired of buying tires for these. Okay, so it's been so long. You can see my driveway is downhill. We're facing downhill. The e-brake off. My feet are off the pedals and we are not moving. So this has been sitting for quite a while, and the pads that were on there clearly are kind of seized to the brakes. Let's see how this goes here. Oh yeah, nice and stuck. So as y'all can see, these are quite low, especially for 34,000 miles. These have seen probably 4 or 5 trips to tail of dragon, so we are pretty hard on them there, but I think this is excessive. Now the caliper's off. The backs are even worse. But yeah, we'll replace these with some nice Hawk track pads. Almost to the wear sensor. So you'll wear through the sensor here and it'll break the connection between these two wires up to the plug. And that's what sets your kind of brake warning light off. But we're not quite through it, but pretty soon. Alright, so we're going to put some of this Hawk grease on the back of these, anywhere that it contacts the brake caliper. I feel like that painter with the afro. So we're all back together on the front right. It's a pretty easy job. You just take the caliper off, put the pads in, put the caliper back on. But one part that's different about putting performance brakes on the front is they don't have a pad wear indicator. So we're left with, I don't know if you guys can see it, we're left with this open plug right here. And since ours weren't worn all the way through, I was able to just take the pad wear indicator out, but I'll wrap it in some heat wrap or some electrical tape or something and just kind of zip tie it back against itself so we don't get a light. Not having pad wear indicators is super common in kind of like racing brake applications, and today we're using Hawk HP Plus pads, and I like the pluses because they're just a little bit too much for the street, I'd say, but the temperature characteristics are really nice. So they have a super wide kind of grip to temperature ratio. So when they're cold, they grip pretty good. When they're hot, they grip hotter, but they work over a long kind of warm-up period of time. And when you get really heavy-duty racing brakes, like kind of above HP Plus, then they only work when they're hot, and they start to work hotter and hotter and hotter. And they'll be really noisy on the street. You'll have to warm them up. You'll have to kind of remember that your brakes don't work when your car is cold. So I didn't really want that. This is a street car, so we just wanted more aggressive brakes, and that's what we're putting on. These are actually the same brakes I use in all of the drift cars. So they work great in the drift cars. They work all the time. I never have to think about my brakes, so that's what I wanted for this too. And that's why they're going on here. Okay, so now that the fronts are done, it's time to move on to the back. I really don't expect any surprises. I'll probably just bang it out, but if I do find anything strange, I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, it's time to move on to the rims and tires and make this thing look good. Okay, so there is something a little different in the back. The caliper bolts are triple squares, big triple squares. But if you don't have a triple square, see if I can get this to balance. A 3/8 extension fits into the bolt, and that's how I got them out, because I don't have a triple square this big. The more you know. So now we got to do the fun part. We have to bed in the brakes. So race pads you have to bed in or burnish in, and that requires 6 to 8 kind of low speed stops, and then 6 to 8 race simulated speed stops. So we're gonna go out to Mexico here, very close, unreasonably close. I can't believe that we're this close to Mexico and Georgia, but we're gonna go out to Mexico and we're going to bed these pads in. I guess we should put it in race mode here. So let's see what mode it's in. Normal mode. Maybe we'll do these for the first brakes and then race mode for the last brakes. All right, we did the low speed stops, so now it's really try to turn the earth backwards. We got to do the race simulated stops 6 to 8 times, so maybe I'll just film one of them, but let's try to get this done. Hopefully all the stuff in the car doesn't just fly forward. There's not that much in here, but you know, you never know. Here we go. Jesus. Not only were the brakes good, but the car was good. The ABS and letting it go, and oh man, it felt nice. Let's see how fast we can go. 0 to maybe 80 to 0. Woo! Woo! These are nice. 4 more times. Now, we just wait 15 minutes without engaging the handbrake, without touching the brakes, wait for them to cool down, and then we'll be good to go, and they'll be all burnished in, and we'll be able to rotate the earth backwards. Actually, when I was bedding them in, the stopping distance was getting shorter and shorter and shorter each time, and then they started getting real hot and started a little bit of smoke coming out, but felt really nice still, so I think these brakes are going to be real nice. All right, so it's a brand new day. We're back over at Night Owl Performance, and the wheels are already on. I was about to just film me putting wheels on, but I'm not gonna hold you guys either, so we'll just go ahead and unveil them. All right, she's a little dirty, so we'll give her a little wash, but here they are. So we went with Rotiform RSEs, and actually these were basically the only Rotiforms that we could find in stock anywhere in the country. They look pretty good. They weren't our first choice, the color wasn't our first choice, but we're super happy with them and how they look on the car now. We went with Michelin Pilot Sports. These are all-season Pilot Sports with H&R Super Sport springs. You can see we have quite a meaty fitment, so the shadow's kind of hiding how close this really is, but we have no rubbing issues at all. And they look pretty good, if I do say so myself. Super happy with the fitment, especially in the back. The back is just a little bit lower than the front, although it's kind of even if you look at the bottom of the car. But they fit really nice. These are 45 offset. So if you go with a 35 offset on a Golf R, you can't run a 235. So we went with a 45 offset to get a little more meat underneath it. Went with a 235 Michelin Pilot Sport. And we're super happy with the way it looks. Color looks nice. We think they're pretty good looking wheels. And it's like just low enough that we're not like scared of speed bumps or not scared of rubbing. We're pretty super stoked on these. Some other guys have run like up to a 255, but it's very aggressive. You can't be this low because you would definitely hit the fender with a 255. But this is about as meaty as we're going to be able to go, I think, with, you know, a stockish alignment and setup. So later today, we're going to go over to Bavarian Repair, get an alignment on the new wheels so we don't destroy them right away. We haven't aligned it since we lowered it. So the camber and the toe is a little bit off, especially in the back, but we'll get that fixed up later this afternoon, and then we'll be good to go. So I can't wait to put these tires through their paces. All right, now we're pulling up to Bavarian Repair. We're gonna get a nice alignment on this thing and we will be good to go.